Oh, well, here we are. Night number 2 at Bethel. That's a lot of songs, huh? I mean, that is a full whiteboard, top to bottom, left to right. And, well, don't let that scare you off just yet. There were some big highlights. But then also here in the first set, there were some things that, maybe we're in somewhere near the letdown category. Like everything just had the minimum jam all the way until well, maybe not sand. Sand was not the minimum. And then cities certainly was not once we got all the way down here. But then look at all this stuff. Back on the train. Maybe not in the opening slot, but back on the train certainly could. Halley's Comet, Sand, Gumbo, even Maze, I suppose. And then Cities and Antelope, definitely are delivering. And then we get over here to let's not move over. Let's not move past it all that. Just that quick. Sand, sand showing, look, we still know how to build to a big giant peak no matter the set. Sand doing that one. Gumbo was much like the Halley's Comet, kind of like the Hey Stranger, just barely. As much as we like to hear Gumbo, May's fiery as always. And then the Hey Stranger, I guess, 2 for 3 this summer now. While this one, I feel like the first one still was my favorite. This one not bad, getting Paige involved early. I know there's been some complaints that we're getting a lot of Trey, and there has indeed been a lot of Trey. The cities, though, again, early on was Paige, and then eventually we get to Trey, obviously. It's got to come sometime. And then the jam just kind of rapidly shifts over, gets harder, and then you get even more Trey. And then, so they ended the set that way. But early on, maybe even in Gumbo, you got some Mike. I know up in here you got some, Haley's. Like all this was nice. And dinner and a movie, okay. It seems like we're getting at least one bust out a night, a set even. And then maybe a little too early for back on the train and sample in a jar, although Trey getting a chance to warm it up there. So lots of red, but nothing too, oh, and way. Let's not overlook way, all right. All right, so let's get over to the second set where really the business is to come. And then we get started with the Wilson here. And then we get 3, just to make sure we get there, and I do not forget. Mm, mm, mm. Man, almost like if I had lost my voice. That says a lot. All right, so let's go. Down with Disease was like Mike making some noises. Okay. It was a lot. Again, I hate to just keep repeating myself, but it was indeed a lot of Trey. But then, not that he was absent in the first set or anything, but this was definitely when Fishman started to highlight. I thought maybe we were going to get some kind of Fishman, maybe if not like a Poor Heart or a Vacuum solo. It felt like, okay, Fishman's really going off here in the Down with Disease. And Page, too, Page felt his presence was felt tonight for sure. So then Waves, now we're kind of feeling like we're back over in the first set here with the Waves. While it was maybe the only one in the second set, it was a bit of a letdown. Like just as it started to go, they were like, no, we're going to go with Twist. And then Twist was not. That one was like maybe it didn't reach the heights of Kill Devil Falls, but it did. It was almost like a sand over here or something. It did. Twist sometimes. All right, let's everybody dance, and then let's get a little weird and quiet. And that was not the case. It started to build, and then had a nice crescendo in it. And they were not done with that either, because Kill Devil Falls. It felt like, all right, now this is certainly the part we're gonna get kind of weird and experimental, and the jammings kind of drifted out for the night. But that wasn't it. Again, it turns and drifts into a big, not even drifts, builds pretty quickly into a big major crescendo. And Ghost and Jen, sure, but Jim, but not quite like these here. Again, we kind of felt like we were back in the first set by the time we got down here. So that was the only weakness. We're mixing in all of these songs. We got 4 major highlights though, so it's hard to complain about that. But songs like Runaway Jim and Ghost, while they were very good, those felt like first setters. A Runaway Jim in the encore, I don't know, I'm not sure. Antelope ending the set, that's okay, but it was a long set. Perhaps ones that we could have lived without Way. I like Way, sure, but all right. So let's just stick to the highlights. I don't even know. It might have been Kill Devil Falls. Cities, maybe. I'm not sure. Twist would probably not make it to the medal stand out of the 4, but I don't know what took the gold. Maybe the Kill Devil Falls. Maybe Down with Disease, just because everybody was in on the action. Cities. Page. Yeah, I will go with Down with Disease, you know? I don't know. I don't know, really. Oh, didn't get a good pop. Man. Sharpie's getting broken in too much. All right, so last night was weird. A lot of songs that maybe I'm not adding to my own personal playlist, but yet a show I really enjoyed. And then this one, a song again littered with songs that I would. Back on the Train being one, Dinner to Movie, Halley, Sand, Gumbo, Maze, Cities, Antelope, Jim, Ghost. Even Sea of Stars. I think I might be the only guy that likes Sea of Stars. Yeah, they got a number line in there. Oh, Tweez Reprise. That's odd. Didn't get Tweez Reprise last night. They didn't do the thing where it was all over the show, but yet they're not saving it for tomorrow. I don't know if there is a saving anything at this point, for the festival or whatever, or tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Well, there is a tomorrow, luckily. And all this luck. I don't know why I'm leaving all this absent of bread. I like. You all seem to like. This was solid, but it just, it was so late in the show. Same thing with Runaway Jim. I believe our first Velvet Sea of the year, of the summer. All right, boom, we're out of here. Thank you, guys. Tomorrow should be a big one. Should be a doozy.